following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com.
Hey, welcome to Viewpoint on 96.3 FM WLCN on a foggy, muggy Wednesday morning. We have two very special guests with us, Kevin Bateman and Seth Goodman from Balloons Over 66. You guys look tired. And we're not even to the weekend yet. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was thinking about porta potties about 2 o'clock this morning.
Well, folks, if you live in a rabbit hole or wherever you may be, Balloons Over 66 is coming August 22nd, 23rd to Lincoln, Logan County, and it is. I got a gut feeling. I know we've talked to some area businesses and you guys as well. This is probably going to be bigger than ever this coming year, correct? You guys?
I think that's what we're thinking as well.
It has every indication of being the biggest one yet.
Yeah, and from what I have seen on Facebook and some of those Route 66 groups and some other tourist groups, they've been talking about it. So,
especially if we have good weather.
True.
We'll be good.
And it looks like it's going to be.
Yes.
I can't speak for wind, but
so far so good.
But anyway, first I guess I can say congratulations. Balloons Over 66 for the festival did have a hiatus there for a year, correct, Seth?
Yeah, so there was 1 year where there was no event, correct.
Yeah. And then we brought it back, or you did, in 2019.
Yeah, 19, it kind of came back slowly with the balloons, and then it's built back since then. So it's gotten quite large, actually, over the past couple of years. So.
And I believe you were mayor then, and...
I was, yeah. The first year, which was 19, which I believe it was COVID, or the second year, we were wearing masks and having to fly and all of that fun stuff. But so it started off kind of slow because really we were kind of looked at as though we should have canceled it because it was COVID, but it was an outside event. We were trying to give people something to look forward to. And then as that progressed, then obviously other things were added back in, and here we are today.
Yeah. And then, Kevin, with you... being an alderman,
yeah. We're in our 14th year. We took 1 year off because of the shutdown for COVID. But as people famously knew, we started with the barbecue portion started with the Balloon Fest, and then Andy Hake and the Chamber, without any warning to us or explanation, split it up, and we moved to June. And then when COVID hit, we took the 1 year off, and then a smaller group of us, we lost some of our people, we decided to come back to that weekend. So we had to scale it back a little bit barbecue-wise and come back, and so this is now our 4th year.
And didn't the Chamber at one time, when we did have a Chamber, thought it was great to even have like the art festival even separated too, which... I guess to me, common sense did not work, but you've brought that back into the realm of things all onto one weekend as well.
When they made that announcement, the excuse was that the barbecue people were using too many of the Chamber's volunteers, and to this day, we have never used a volunteer. This will be the first year since we're taking over the entertainment part that we're actually getting some volunteers. The barbecue people never asked for a volunteer, so that. It is what it is.
Right.
It's water under the bridge, but
But
we kept it going other than COVID. So.
Yeah, that's great. Real quick before we dive into what's going on, too, I kind of want to ask: we don't have to go down that rabbit hole, but I do want to bring light to it. Has Logan County Tourism since 2019 given any money towards this event?
Not the balloon portion.
That's one portion at all.
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, no.
We had to give them money. There's 3 entities. There's our portion, Seth's portion, and like the park district and stuff. We were asked to donate $500 each group, so $1,500 total to help them advertise for this event.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's honestly one of the biggest, if not the biggest, tourist weekends in Lincoln and Logan County. And when we asked them to be more involved, we were actually told we had to go in front of them and tell them why it was beneficial for them to be involved. So,
wow.
So it's a little bit frustrating, to say the least. Now, their director at the time, or what I believe, they were helpful with us as far as like meetings, and they helped me with pilot packs and stuff like that. But as far as funding and actual board involvement, there was None.
There was none.
None.
No. Alrighty. Well, moving forward on a lighter note and a bigger scale, there's a lot going on. So this year, I guess we can start off with the balloons.
Sure.
Balloons are all in one location this year, correct?
So they will all be launching and glowing from open arms there on State Route 10. And they'll all be glowing there on Saturday night as well. So all 38 balloons will be launching from there Friday night and Saturday night. They'll glow there Saturday night, and then Saturday morning they will fly into there to hit a target. And then Sunday morning, for those pilots that choose to fly, they'll just fly over town. So they may launch from different areas in an effort to get over town.
Okay.
So.
And in comparison, I know we've spoken about this in years past, 38 balloons for
Right.
Illinois compared to other balloon festivals in Illinois. This
Right.
is one of the largest ones, correct?
So it's the largest one that I'm going to this year. I've got one this coming weekend in Centralia. They've got 35. That's usually one of the largest, and we're slightly north of that as far as number of balloons. So it's quite a show, and we're very fortunate that they all want to come here.
Where's your
it's,
furthest balloonist coming from?
Albuquerque, New Mexico, one from Arizona, and then one from Florida. So, but a lot of them, they have roots to Central Illinois. So it is in a way for them, or in a means to them, a way to get back home. So they come in and visit their family, and then they fly, and they just have a lot of friends and previous sponsors and crews back from the chamber days that they've still remained connected with. So.
And I know late at night they're refueling, getting their fuel, their gas.
Yeah.
But we need to highlight that they're paying their own dollars for that fuel, correct?
So.
Or not?
I do cover that. So I do cover like lodging, fuel, some show-up money for the pilots.
Personally, are covering that out of your own personal pocket?
Personally, yes.
Wow.
Just to get them here and to put on the weekend. But they do come here. I mean, compared to other events, what they're getting is actually less than those. But they all like to come here. I don't know if it's, like I said, their ties or the location. Maybe the weekend is just most convenient for them. But we're very fortunate to have all of them.
Well, thank you.
Come back. So, no, it's.
No, I mean, no, seriously. I mean, people need to say thank you.
It was just something that I was passionate about. And for the past 3 years, the city did have a grant that really did help. I mean, Eaton has also contributed a little bit. The city is again this year, and then Grau has helped in past years a little bit. So, I mean, every little bit counts, but it is an expensive weekend for sure.
That is. Wow. Kevin, how many barbecuers are we going to have downtown this year?
We're maxed out at 35 just because of space.
You can't add on more streets there. Well, I mean, you can't lengthen that
That'll be
at all.
another topic we'll cover here in a little bit. Yes, we could grow the event. Its space is where we're at, and space has always been
A hot topic.
the hottest of topics, especially when you're closing the streets and the square. But I have to say, going back 17 years when Chris Grau and the original people got together, we grew up when the balloons were actually downtown on the square. The Grand Prix that we had downtown. So we made the commitment to start adding the electrical part of that event to the downtown square.
Kind of highlight that real quick for our listeners, because I don't think, some of them didn't pay attention to or want to watch. Nothing against Lincoln City Council's meetings, because you've highlighted that extensively in numerous meetings about the electrical in that downtown. So kind of highlight for our listeners about that.
So years ago, we made, after going to barbecue events, we decided we wanted to provide everything to those competitors. So we started adding electrical infrastructure, working with Eaton and Ameren to put drops. So if you know what you're looking for, you'll drive around town, you'll see a meter, a box, and an up and smoke. There's currently 7 of those downtown, each one 200 amps, plus the 3 on the courthouse square that everybody sees, because I've recently made them so that they're easy to mow around and we keep them up all year round. But we've invested well past $30,000 worth of equipment. Doesn't include labor. Some of the more extensive ones was during the Pulaski Street remodel. The balloon committee went and got conduit and cable, and we put, while the sidewalk was tore up, we buried cable in that sidewalk so that we have plug-ins on both ends of the sidewalk, which is used year-round for Third Fridays and stuff. We have in front of D-Fades, there's wire in that sidewalk waiting to be used behind the theater. So it's pretty extensive. And that's part of the reason things are set up the way they are, is because once you permanently invest in that infrastructure, you can't just shuffle the dominoes around to make sure everything works. Mm-hmm. And if anybody's been to Third Fridays, just the 3 or 4 food trucks they make them run generators. You can't even place your order sometimes because the generator's so loud. So you can imagine 16 food trucks running
16
generators.
at least, yeah. How many food vendors do you have this year?
Currently, food vendors, I think we're at 14. Most of those are from out of town.
Kind of explain to our listeners about the story behind having some outside vendors here.
It all involves what the people want. Nothing against our downtown businesses and nothing against our local food vendor trucks. But the biggest thing we hear is a city like Lincoln, there's a lot of people that don't ever leave Lincoln. They want something that they can't get. So I try to bring in food vendors. We don't have enough food vendors locally anyway. We have always tried to bring in food vendors from out of town just for that weekend so that people can have a variety. And in the last 3 years, we've been trying to, it's a barbecue weekend. We try to get a couple, 3 barbecue trucks, but then we try to get Mexican and smash burgers are popular and those kind of things. So I got a Euro truck coming this year, so without the idle hour, that will help. So
we have the new cat, Dolly. She's she has a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
We'll get to her questions in a minute. So yeah.
But that's the reasoning behind bringing in outside vendors. And this weekend is very popular. I actually have 12 food trucks on a waiting list if we have an opening.
Wow.
to get into this event. So
we could even extend out the food trucks.
if I could get street closure and get the people to work with me, I could put food trucks all the way around the square.
Good for you. But then again, listening to the two of you, you guys are truly trying to appease everybody, which will never, ever happen. I'm sorry, it won't. But for the majority of it, you guys are bringing, tourism.
Yeah, it's really like when the chamber closed, it's like everyone was just like, okay, let's just let it go. There was no real effort to bring it back. It's just like apparently, I don't know if they felt like we didn't need it, but it really is a staple in this community. People have looked forward to it. They've come here for decades. I mean, so it's just something that, when I initially was like, hey, I want to bring the balloon portion back, how do you let that go when it's part of Lincoln's history at this point? It's an annual thing and people have it on their calendars. So, I mean, and even just at the balloon portion, we see last year 10 to 15,000 people that showed up on Saturday night. I mean, we had to have the police, the local, the county, the state police there just to direct traffic because it was so insanely busy. They've got 30 porta potties out there this year because the crowd was so huge last year. So it's clearly something that the community as well as those outside of the community want. It keeps our hotels full, our restaurants full, our downtown businesses full. Like, there's people everywhere, and we're literally putting the people in front of the local businesses. And I think that's a huge thing that anyone, especially tourism, should want to do.
And I hope our local businesses are embracing this and seeing, free advertisement. Kudos to the Balloon Festival, for bringing us shoppers, I mean, and I know there's some businesses that it's their biggest weekend of the year, it outblows the Christmas season, et cetera. So hopefully, they're embracing it or will embrace it eventually. So
Eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some that really do help and get involved with it, but I think others just have a hard time with. He would know more about that than I, because obviously
change of things. It's
yeah,
a change.
and just what's going on and where it's going on, obviously. Mm-hmm. So.
And I know during city council meeting, I was listening, Kevin. You do need to leave somewhat of a wide enough space in case, God forbid, there is a medical emergency.
Yes, there is a master plan.
Right.
Yeah.
So kind of explain the details and everything, what's kind of going into, downtown of everything, because this is just not an easy undertaking of what you're doing, really.
The minimum space from non-movable objects. So obviously you can move a picnic table out of the way or a 10 by 10 tent or whatever easily. We have to keep 8 feet. So that's what they want to get an ambulance. Only one time have we ever had to get an ambulance in there. It proved the master plan worked. We don't talk about that master plan. You don't set those things out there.
But then again, we need to let people know there's, we do
it is
have a plan
coordinated
A.
with
It
the
is
police,
coordinated.
fire, ambulance, all of that to where the easiest way to get in, easiest way to get out. I know Lincoln Fire usually borrows the 6x6 from Lincoln Rule that weekend to get in even easier, quicker, if they have to. So it's people just think that we just turn this festival on and it happens.
And
they don't.
and you guys start planning this in May, correct? I'm making a joke.
Yeah, no, it's
I truly am making a joke because that's what
We
some
take
people
2
are
months
thinking.
off.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
2
But that's
months.
what I'm saying. People kind of think, like you said, oh, you just plan this, a couple of months in advance. That's not the case, obviously.
Right. We usually start, my group usually starts meeting somewhere around November. We may not have a meeting every month, but we'll have a meeting, talk about the changes, talk about what happened, and then as the calendar rolls over, then like now we're meeting every single week, both groups. There's 2 groups. Each group has their individual group, and then we have a group, balloon group, where we're talking about all aspects of the event. It's not like the chamber. I think that's what makes this work is instead of one entity trying to tell everybody what to do, we've each taken our piece and we're trying to work with the other pieces. When are you doing this? We'll coordinate that back and forth. And just this year, the young professionals always did the entertainment portion of the weekend. Barbecue always did the tent, but they did the entertainment and bands. That group wanted to step away from that, so the barbecue portion took over the entertainment this year.
So who's our entertainment this year?
I have Harmony Grits on Friday night, which is a very popular band. They played Third Fridays. And then I rolled the dice, and I procured Captain Geesh and the Shrimp Shack Shooters for Saturday night, which hasn't made law enforcement that happy because they bring thousands of people, groupies on their own. So Saturday night will be jam-packed.
It will be.
Matter of fact, I called the tent people yesterday to try to add more stand-up tables and chairs to our order, trying to hopefully get everybody happy and a place to sit down.
Where are you going to place the stage at then for the bands?
So the stage we put where them ugly bump outs are on Pulaski Street, we try to put that in between those two, facing north up Kickapoo, and then there'll be our 50-foot tent with some tables and chairs and the 8-foot on the side of the tent, and then it's a row of food trucks all the way to Broadway. That's where the entertainment portion is. So we'll put picnic tables out, regular tables and chairs, stand-up tables. We'll try to do our best.
Awesome. Well, we're going to pay some commercials real quick. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we got Kevin and Seth with us. We're talking about balloons over 66.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
You see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
Kevin, I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back to 96.3 WLCN Viewpoint. Again, listener lines are open if you do have a question, kudos, concern, comment, whatever you want to call it, 217-648-5510. We have Kevin Bateman, Seth Goodman with us, and it's not just the two of you. Who else? We have, you mentioned different committees.
Right.
So what other committees do we have and those committee members as well?
Right. So I'm just thinking at our meetings that we have like jointly, we've got Marcia Cook, she really does like the art fair. Krista Miller at the Oasis, she has the vendor fair, and then they've got a lunch out there that is open to the public. Jennifer Prather with the Park District does the 5K runs. Kevin and Peggy are always at the meetings for the barbecue, and then my parents and I do the balloon portion. So am I missing anyone?
I think
those are
you
the-
highlighted pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
Jennifer does more than just the Park
Yes.
District, though. She is, all the advertisement you've seen on Facebook, the flyers, that's all Jennifer Prather.
She's been
it has
great.
been very
doing
nice.
all
It's
of
been
that.
great. So
And she
So
responds to 90% of those messages too.
hundreds
so.
of thousands of hits on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's worked very hard at that this year, and I think she's added like a kids 5K on top of, or like a kids mile run or something like that too. So she's really, and her numbers I know for that this year up significantly as well. So like
is
we
there some
talked earlier, it'll
softball
be
games or baseball games too, I believe,
there's a-
going on?
yeah,
that
a few years
weekend?
ago, well, that's one of the things I'm constantly being pushed to bring back the 3-on-3 tournament, again, downtown event
Right.
that was so popular. So I reached out to District 27 and the Frobies trying to get that going. Well, instead of 3-on-3, they started a girls softball tournament, which has now turned into a traveling baseball tournament also. So
Wow.
all the schools will have teams there playing in a tournament. Then they can come downtown. Food trucks. There will be some food trucks out the high school, I believe. And then there's baseball, softball. That's on top of what's going on downtown. And then the
So even more tourism dollars. I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep hitting that home to our, to our community. I mean, that's a lot of tourism dollars, folks.
and Krista told us at the last meeting she is maxed out at the Oasis on vendors areas, so she can't take any more vendors. Marcia Cook is maxed out on art vendors. We are maxed out on barbecue teams.
We're maxed out on balloons. So it's a very full weekend in Lincoln and Logan County.
And
for
if you
sure.
think about it, when we say maxed out, there isn't 60 craft vendors that live in Logan County. There's
Right.
not 40 artists. I think we only have 2 barbecue teams from Lincoln. We've got teams from out of state.
Out of state.
I think there's a team from Texas coming. They happen to
Oh
be
my gosh.
traveling this direction. So, I mean, you know,
This is a
it's-
huge event, folks. I mean, seriously, if you're sitting back scratching your head, this is huge.
I mean,
and
you
this
want it
is
to be
awesome.
for the local people, but the actual people coming are not local people.
Right. And that's what we want. We want to draw people to Logan County to see what we have to offer here.
It definitely puts Lincoln on a map. I
Yes.
mean, really, like every event that I go to, I think it's like 10 balloon events throughout the summer months. They all talk about the Lincoln event, just that they like how it's laid back, but there's also other things going on outside of the balloons. Most balloon events, you've just got balloons, and so you're there in the morning and you're there at night. But here, thanks to him and everyone else, they have stuff downtown that you can
Something
do.
for everybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it really is
family friendly.
Yeah, it's a full weekend. I mean, the Dock Dogs, the art fair, the vendor fair, the 5K, like there is literally something for everybody, all weekend.
Right, because I know the Dock Dogs draws a lot.
That's one of the most expensive things of the weekend. Dock Dogs alone, without hotel rooms, is $7,000.
I was just going to ask you, what does it cost to bring Dock Dogs?
$7,000. We've thought about this is getting expensive, but the crowds, you just can't cancel something because of the crowds.
Right.
The kids love it. There's so many pictures of the kids at the end of the pool getting splashed.
And looking at the schedule, Dock Dogs registration on Friday. Practice is at 12. First jump's at 1.
Right.
It says here. So, and then they go all day on Saturday. Then.
Right.
So.
And those come from
they come from all over.
They stay in our hotels. We use the Hampton Inn because they have a lot of pet-friendly rooms. So it's.
Do we have a call?
We do.
Oh, okay. You got your headphones there, guys?
I'll try to turn your.
Hi, go ahead. Oops. Go ahead, listener or caller.
Yes, is there handicap parking close to the downtown area? Or
That's a Kevin
all
question.
the time?
I only know of one designated handicap spot. That would be across in front of the post office. Other than that, there's one in front of City Hall. That street's not closed. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot anyway downtown. We only got 2 or 3, and I know we're blocking one of them. So.
And it's inevitable to do that. You had to
something
do
you
that
might
too.
need to
Yes.
look at in the future, because I'm not the only one that would like to go. Whether I will or not depends on whether I'm up to it or not. But the food sounds good. So anyway, I'm just making
parking spots behind.
Future.
The city parking spots behind Sherwin-Williams and stuff. I know they got some handicap parking spots in there, so should
Now, is that
be
parking
close.
lot behind the arcade? Is that public parking?
The parking lot behind the arcade.
Oh,
Yes,
behind the arcade.
that is
Yeah,
open.
yeah.
Yes, we do not block
That's
that.
open. Yes, okay.
Behind the arcade, not in front of the arcade, but behind the arcade.
No, behind the arcade.
Right. Uh-huh.
That big parking lot there. Of course, it'll probably be full. So.
But there is handicap there. Then I do know there's handicap around the parks there too. I believe I've seen some. So,
Right.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling in. I think
Okay.
that's Donnie, right? Yep. Thanks for calling in,
Yes, it
Donnie.
is. Yep. Okay.
So speaking about that, they've got the competition for the barbecue real quick contest from 4 to 8:30 on Friday. Beginning,
so
right?
that's the steak part.
That's
so
the steak
on Friday
part.
night
Yep,
it's
steak.
steak only, $50 to enter, but that includes 2 1-inch thick ribeyes. So anybody bought ribeyes lately, it's a wash.
But it's certified Hereford beef too, correct? Thank you.
The IGA supplies us the steaks. They cut them that day. So you get 2 ribeyes. One you can mess up and one you're turning in. So, and that's a $500 prize fund there. So we've advertised it extensively on Facebook. The old quit talking about how good you are and prove it.
Right.
So, and these are KCBS certified judges, so you will get an honest answer of what your steak is.
And balloons launch at 6 on Friday night. Seth?
Right. So pretty much sunrise on Saturday and Sunday morning, and then roughly 6 to 6:30 Friday and Saturday evening.
And for the traffic, I know, kind of circling back to the traffic, for
Yep.
the balloons, City of Lincoln has put out
Right.
a letter, the city police, I should say,
Right.
on how that's going to happen. And if
Yeah.
people have an idea or cannot remember, they go
Right.
to the Balloons Over 66
Yeah, you can go to the
weekend.
Balloons Over 66 weekend Facebook
read up
page.
on
Pretty
that.
much everything is on there for the entire weekend. But also, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you will go into Campus View and they will direct you from there.
Okay.
So you will not pull into Open Arms from the front there. You'll go down Campus View and they'll direct you into the back area
To kinda
into
keep Route
to
10
kind of
somewhat
direct
open.
parking and stuff. But I believe you'll exit out the front entrance of Open Arms just to keep the flow of traffic moving. So we do ask that people not park or cram themselves on Route 10. We understand that a lot of people will park there, but it does make traveling either direction a little tricky when there's cars parked on both sides. Again, we understand it's going to happen, but we just ask that people not block the main areas in and out because we're talking a lot of vehicles there. So.
And I see Open Arms is going to have inflatables for the kids for entertainment before the balloons launch on Friday from 3 to 6.
So they moved their Family Fun Day out there this year. So they will have their Family Fun Day toward the back of their campus so that the balloons can be there on the front. They're also going to have food for purchase out there Friday and Saturday evening and things like that. So there won't be food trucks, but I believe Open Arms themselves are actually cooking and selling food out there Friday and Saturday evenings. So.
And Harmony Grits goes on stage at 8 o'clock downtown.
Correct.
Then as well. So that's all on Friday. Then we're going to circle up to touch base. And then we got the art fair, the Lincoln Art Fair during Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon around 4 o'clock, the art fair will take over Broadway. Then we have the steak cook-off, and Harmony Grits plays in the evening, and they're known to play long, so I would imagine it'd be close to midnight before we're out of there. And then
Are you up to all these late night hours, Kevin?
well, I actually live on Campus View Drive at the end, so I doubt if I'll be able to get to my house during that weekend. Maybe sleeping in my truck most of the weekend. But Friday at 1 o'clock is when Doc Dog starts. We do have food trucks that are committed to be open for lunch on Friday. So not all of them, but several. So the food will start flowing around lunchtime Friday.
Wonderful. And then as we mentioned too, at the Oasis, the vendor show is from 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 on Saturday. That's always a huge crowd out there at the Oasis as well. So
I think there's a pet costume contest.
Yeah, I was seeing that on Facebook.
Somewhere.
There's a pet show on Saturday, August 23rd, with prizes. I guess that's through Faith Church. And they have more information. Then I also saw there's a bags tournament on Saturday, 23rd
Oh, that's
as
brought
well.
to you by Up and Smoke also. We took over that portion this year. That's
little bit
run
of
by
something for
Jason
everybody,
Sith.
really.
Yeah, I think the library's having a book sale
Library's
as well.
having a big book
Their
sale.
bucket bag sale.
Yeah, there's literally something for
I
everybody.
can't speak for
Yeah.
Seth, but I can't take on any more stuff. I mean, if you want to join and you have your own organization to do your own organizing and everything, we're more than happy to help you or invite you to the event. But I'm
Yeah.
You're maxed out.
Yeah, we've got a pretty
keep saying
slim
that.
crew to put on such a big thing, so it's becoming a little bit tricky, and it's also a big financial commitment, like we talked about. So there's a lot of components to the weekend that make it very tricky for the amount of people that we have to run it. So
our portion of the event is over $30,000.
I was just going to say, besides Seth's portion of, for the hotels, the fuel for the pilots, et cetera, then you've got your portion for downtown. That's a huge
because people
undertaking.
don't realize you have to buy T-shirts, you have to buy wristbands, you have to advertise, you have to pay for police presence. You have to electricity.
Well, you're bringing dogs.
Dock
and then
dogs.
you got, your 2 bands, Friday and Saturday night. You're bringing the
And
entertainment.
then there's insurance. There's renting the stage, renting the equipment. It's a daunting task, and that's why you start so early, because you have to get all these things into place so that you're not.
Well, things get booked out too. I mean, you've got to be able to get them reserved and held for this. I made joke and light of it. You start in May. No, you do not. You
No, we
start
book-
a year in advance.
We book some of our hotel rooms in January and February just on the chance that we don't want.
And speaking of that, we definitely going to have 2 hotels, the Hampton Inn and the Comfort Inn, are going to be completely booked, correct?
Right.
They have been every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Comfort has always lodged the pilots, so we're very thankful for them. But just on that note, like locally, like the Oasis does a brunch for the pilots Saturday morning. We're very thankful for that. Foxhole downtown covers a meal for them Saturday evening. Hicks Gas here locally does the propane. So everything on the balloon side we've tried to keep local, which is great, and we've been very fortunate to have all of them that work with us each year. I know Comfort's gone through some substantial changes in the past week or two with management, so we've been working with them, but they're definitely going to make sure that they accommodate the needs for the weekend.
So real quick, do you still need help with crewing? I know that's brought up from
anyone
time to
that would
time.
like to crew for a hot air balloon, we would love to see 5 o'clock that Friday at the Comfort Inn is where, and if they can't come all weekend, it's fine. If they can help one time, you're welcome to show up at any of the flights. Just check out that Balloons Over 66 Weekend Facebook page. It'll tell you where the flights are and when. Where and when, and then we can always put you with a pilot. And sometimes if you crew, you do get in the basket and get to go for a flight. So it's a nice segue into getting up in the air. So, and you can meet a lot of cool people and experience something that not many get to do. So
I think since I know Cheap Seats is going to be broadcasting live from downtown on Saturday, you guys could have cheap seats up in one of the balloons on Saturday morning. Joe Ryan would love that. We'll send Joe Ryan up.
With all the wires we have, it would definitely have to be a feathered balloon ride, that's for sure.
The morning flights are pretty cool, so that's an experience.
So I think that would be pretty neat, having cheap seats up in the air. So
Absolutely.
sometimes it is up in the air, literally, figuratively speaking. So anyway.
When we go wireless, maybe we'll look at that.
Right.
Yeah.
What else do you?
I was just going to ask, as far as the balloon portion goes, I know in the past there's been a balloon meister who's sort of made the go, no-go call. How are those things being handled?
So when I took it over, we made it kind of a non-event. So basically, we give the weather, and the pilots, it's up to their discretion. So they can fly. If they don't want to fly, or if they're not comfortable, they don't have to. Basically, I guess I'm not really the balloon meister, but I'd be the one that kind of corrals everybody, and then I usually have another pilot that gives the weather, just so they can make those phone calls while I'm trying to get all the pilots at one place. But ultimately, it is pilot discretion throughout the weekend. So if they're comfortable flying, they're welcome to. If they're not, they don't have to by any means.
So you're a heartbeat away from the balloon meister then? So
kind of. I just don't want to technically say I have that responsibility. So, but we have a lot
of. It's not
of.
like you're doing anything else.
Yeah, we have a lot of very experienced pilots here. So some of them have been coming here for 25, 30 years, and they've been flying for 30 plus years. So we have a lot of, I would call, veteran pilots that come here, and so they definitely know what they're doing. The one thing that's really complicated flying here are all of our solar panels and our wind farms, or our solar, our wind towers, all of that. So that does make me a little bit nervous, because any which direction you go anymore, you're going to run into them. So we just have to make sure that the pilots hopefully get down to a landing spot before they encounter those long fields. But that is also changing the future of ballooning in this area, because they continue to go up, and therefore our landing spots continue to decrease. So that is not a.
What's an average height that they like to fly at?
Well, technically over town, you're supposed to be at least 1,000 feet without a waiver. So we don't have a waiver for the weekend, so we're flying at standard flight. So basically, you need to be at least 1,000 feet over town. But when you're some pilots like myself like to fly low, because I like to be able to really see what we're, and let the people experience that. But also, to answer your question, generally it's 1,000 feet over town, and the country, pretty much wherever whatever height you're comfortable with. But we have some pilots like to fly between 3,000 and 5,000 feet, just because they like to be the high flyer, which is cool because you can really see a long distance. But some people prefer to be a little bit closer to the ground.
The Chad Kearns of the world.
Chad Kearns, a local pilot, he likes to fly very high.
Way up there.
Yeah, he likes to be way up there. So, and to each their
I
own.
flew low over town when they launched from our backyard. I liked the lower flight because literally, this is going to sound crazy, you can hear everybody's televisions. You hear everything. So that was the neat part of it, because ballooning is so quiet and peaceful. You can hear everything. So
you can hear people yelling at you. You can hear everything. Dogs barking. So, yeah, it's and it's also amazing when you fly over town how many pools are in backyards that you don't realize. There's a lot of things you see in a backyard. So we always encourage people to clean up their yard maybe before. So no, just kidding.
During
but,
my flight, I took a couple pictures of yards that I turned into code enforcement the next day. So I'm not going to hide that fact.
Yeah. You can really see a lot. Sometimes more than you bargained for.
Instead of sending a drone up, we're sending a balloon up.
I was like, man, we need to employ a doubloon all the time. We could, we could really do some good work for the city at that point.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we still need some volunteers. If you go to Sign Up Genus on our Facebook page, I'm just asking for 2 hours out of your life. If I still have T-shirts, I'll give you one. But we just need people, especially on Saturday night. I don't know if it's because they want to watch the band and they don't want to volunteer, but Saturday night I got a lot of openings. It's just answering questions and be present. We're already paying the police force to be there, so those kind of things.
Then I was also going to ask you, Kevin, as far as the barbecue goes, I know in the past there's been talks about the different types of competition, sanctioned versus unsanctioned. Does the public get a chance to sample the what is put together by the contestants or not? What is what are the arrangements for this year?
So it is a sanctioned event, KCBS sanctioned event. The $1 million question, can you sample barbecue? The answer from the Logan County Health Department is no. But I will put it out there that as a former competitor, you cook a lot to turn in 6 bones of ribs and 6 chicken thighs. And they cook stuff as Seth said, they love to come to town. They cook, armadillo eggs, bacon wrapped jalapenos stuffed with brisket. So the $1 million question is, if you wait till around that noon, 1 o'clock-ish, where you don't want to bother them while they're trying to put their box together to turn it in. But after that, if you just have a friendly conversation with a few of those people,
And a beverage in your hand.
You'll get the meat sweats after a while. I mean, you'll get tired of it, but it's a friendly thing. But the health department doesn't allow it, but it happens. Mm-hmm. Plus, we've got 3 good barbecue trailers coming to town this year. Right. We got barbecue-wise, we got Notorious P.I.G. He competes every year. This year he's bringing his food truck over. We got Nuthatch Hill, and we have Bobby Lane Barbecue out of Decatur coming. So
okay, very good. And then last thing I was going to ask Seth, and maybe both of you, if the weather happens to not cooperate, how can folks find out about any changes or cancellations?
Yeah. So the best thing will be to watch that Facebook page, honestly. That's where we will have somebody that monitors that, not necessarily be able to respond to messages, but we will put updates to any cancellations, any changes, things like that. Especially like we mentioned earlier, as far as the flights, if the wind is going a certain direction that will take us right into an immediate windmill farm, we may alter where we launch from. The goal is to always launch from where we have listed initially, but any and all updates regarding flight changes, stuff like that, will be on the Balloons Over 66 Weekend Facebook page.
Are you still needing some landowners to say, hey, it's okay, you can land here?
It would be great, because if people could, if anyone has a big area, put a white sheet or something out there that just says, hey, you can land here. Otherwise, generally, we will land there and then have to ask for permission. And then obviously if it's not, or they're not agreeable, then we've got to take back off. And so it's just one of those things. If there can be some kind of marker or something there, it would really help the cause, because the crew would know pulling in there, hey, this is a safe place to land. You can come in here. And with the crops up right now, and like we mentioned, the windmills, our landing spots are very limited, so we would appreciate any and all willing landowners to allow us to potentially land on their property. Crews and balloonists are very respectful. They're not going to damage your property purposefully, so we just ask for the space, and it would be a cool thing for a landowner too, for pictures and things like that. So, and you can get up close and personal and ask pictures, and the pilot may let you get in and do other things like that as well. So we would greatly appreciate any and all participation from property owners around Logan County.
Seth's not going to give their names, but in private meetings, there is a couple people that you absolutely will not land on their property.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are some that we have to warn the pilots about at the initial meeting, and most of them are aware because they've been here. This year we do have 4 or 5 new pilots that are coming, so I mean we will want to make sure and let them know. But there's just a few that definitely do not want you on their property, which I mean ultimately at the end of the day it's their property, but we just ask for a civil interaction if someone lands there and you don't want them there. Just please ask them to leave. 9 out of 10 times the pilot will leave the balloon in the air or standing up to move it if they need to when they ask for permission, and if it's not granted they will leave the property. So we just ask that if you're not willing to, just to please keep things civil and we will move on and there will be no issue. So.
Well, and I've ridden many times in the past and landed, and you're right, the balloonists do not tear up property.
Right.
They do not. They're very respectable. They're very respectable of the crops, you know.
Right.
They really, really are.
Right,
So.
right. Yeah, and so the goal is obviously not to take out any crops and not to damage any property. But, you know, sometimes it does happen. If it does, the pilot will be in touch with the landowner. That's something that we all know as pilots, that it is our responsibility, if any damage is done, to find out who the landowner is and make a communication to get
Jim,
that
do you
resolved.
have anything at all?
No, I'm good.
You're good? You're going to go up in a balloon?
Probably not.
Weather-wise on our event, we're go. I think it was 2 years ago that massive storm went through on a Friday night. We lost about 60 10 by 10 tents. Had a hilarious event inside the big beer tent. There was probably 20 or 30 people in there, and they were trying to hold the tent down as it was coming off the ground. And famously, we were trying to get them out, and then we heard the whole Forrest Gump, "You call this a storm?" They're going to die then. But we try to make sure that, you know, we want everybody to be safe, but it would have to be pretty catastrophic for us to cancel our part. We waited the storm out and kept going. So.
Anything else, do you know? No. Well, folks, again, August 22nd, 23rd, Balloons Over 66. Go to the Facebook page for any and all information, updates, etc. We will be trying to highlight it too on our Facebook page as well. And again, we're going to have cheap seats out there on Saturday morning. A prolifera of everything from, like you said, softball tournaments to a bag tournament to the vendor fair. Of course,
There's a car show Sunday too, isn't there? Are they still doing that at Memorial Park?
I think so.
Yeah.
Shady car show.
Yeah, I think it's a shady
I
car
believe.
show.
So yes, I mean, it is just, we are jam-packed with anything and everything going on the 22nd, 23rd, and then 24th then of August. So Kevin and Seth, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Your time, your effort, your money, your countless hours. You guys do look, I apologize, tired before the event. I hope you get some rest after the event. But thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for everything. And thank you to all the committee members.
We do it for Logan County. There's no personal gain. It's just
no personal gain at all. It's definitely just something that we're passionate about, and we like to highlight where we come from. I mean, that's what I know. Kevin, as an alderman, and me as a prior, it's important to highlight what we have to offer here in Lincoln and Logan County.
If there's anybody out there that would like to be a photographer, that's the one thing we don't have in the downtown part is. We don't have people downtown taking pictures like they do at the balloons that we would like to highlight the following year. But if anybody can take some good cell phone pictures, and obviously my phone number is public knowledge, send them to us or send them to somebody that would share them with us so we can highlight the event, on the event that this keeps going on, can showcase what we have. So.
And record crowds. I mean, we are truly talking record.
Oh, this year, that's all we're hearing is.
I think it's going to be huge. Yeah.
We're gonna tax the local people pretty good this year. So it's.
You're speaking as just a person, not as a board member, right? As far as.
No, I'm speaking as a board member. Police, fire. We're all trying to coordinate with them. On Seth's side, where the balloons is, it's state police, county police, city police, trying to make sure everything goes off smoothly. That's the aspect. If you're a shop owner, I'm sorry the street's blocked, but
you're bringing them a lot of people.
yes.
A lot.
And we
Yes.
always tell the spectators.
And we try to work with them as best we can to minimize their inconvenience. But this is
But if they
for
look at the bigger picture, you're
this is-
bringing them.
yes, this is a
individuals to shop.
community event.
Right.
So
Right.
As far as the balloon portion, it is a free event. Most balloon events we go to, they do charge admission. So we just ask people to be as friendly and kind as possible out there given the crowd, because again, it is a free event that is open to anyone and everyone. So
speaking of free, on Saturday from 11 to 4 downtown on Broadway, like in front of D-Fades and stuff, we will have free bounce houses, free face painting, free balloon animals, and I think there's a henna tattoo person that's going to set up. She won't be free, but it's very minimal charge. So if you've got kids, other than the food you're going to buy them, we have a trinket trailer that's going to be there that caters to kids and stuff. So we're trying to make it so that very little money out of your pocket, but can have the maximum enjoyment for the weekend. And that our sponsors is, and it's too long for me to go through, but we will have banners and signs everywhere. I can't help thank my sponsors enough. They start getting letters from me in January and February, hounding and begging for money, because like I said, just our portion's $30,000 to put on. So we got a lot of really good sponsors, local sponsors and stuff. So.
Well, kudos, guys. Seriously. I mean, a huge kudos to you, your committee members, the volunteers, the time and effort. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. So, well, folks, I'll wrap it up for Viewpoint on 96.3 FM. The Lord and weather willing, we'll be back next week.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.